Before Trafalgar, there was an ambitious young officer whose daring strategies and bold leadership would change naval warfare forever. This is the untold story of Horatio Nelson's early battles and how they shaped his rise to legendary status. Dive into the First Anglo-Maratha War and witness the birth of a naval genius. In the late 18th century, as the British Empire sought to extend its influence across the globe, a young and ambitious officer began to emerge as a force to be reckoned with. His name was Horatio Nelson. Before he became a legendary figure at Trafalgar, Nelson's early career was shaped by a series of daring encounters and battles that would lay the foundation for his future greatness. Among these was his involvement in the First Anglo-Maratha War, a conflict that pitted the British East India Company against the powerful Maratha Empire in India. This is the story of a rising star, a conflict that tested his mettle, and the beginnings of a naval genius who would one day change the course of history. Horatio Nelson, 1st Viscount Nelson. Vice-Admiral Horatio Nelson, 1st Viscount Nelson, 1st Duke of Bronte-Caby, the 29th of September to the 18th of September, 1758 to the 21st of October, 1805, was a British flag officer in the Royal Navy. His inspirational leadership, grasp of strategy, and unconventional tactics brought about a number of decisive British naval victories during the French Revolutionary and Napoleonic Wars. He is widely regarded as one of the greatest naval commanders in history. His victory on the 21st of October, 1805, at the Battle of Trafalgar led into British naval supremacy for the next century and beyond.
The First Anglo-Maratha War, 1775 to 1782, was the first of three Anglo-Maratha wars fought between the British East India Company and Maratha Confederacy in India. The war began with the Treaty of Surat and ended with the Treaty of Salbai. The war, fought in between Surat and Pune, saw British defeat and restoration of positions of both the parties before the war. Warren Hastings, the first Governor-General of Bengal, decided not to attack Pune directly. After the death of Madhvarav Peshwa in 1772, his brother Narayanarao became Peshwa, Prime Minister, of the Maratha Empire. His palace guards murdered Narayanarao in August 1773, and his uncle Raghunathrao, Raghuba, became Peshwa. However, Narayanarav's wife, Gangabai, gave birth to a posthumous son, who was the legal heir to the throne. The newborn infant was named Sawai Madhvarav. Sawai means 1 1/4. 12 Maratha chiefs, known as the Barbai and led by Nana Fadnavis, directed an effort to install the infant as the new Peshwa and to rule in his name as regents. Raghunathrao, unwilling to give up his position of power, sought help from the British at Bombay and signed the Treaty of Surat on March 6, 1775. According to the treaty, Raghunathrao ceded the territories of Salsette and Bassein, Vasai, to the British, along with part of the revenues from Surat and Badaut districts. In return, the British promised to provide Raghunathrao with 2,500 soldiers. At the same time, the Marathas tried to form a military alliance with the French. Two Frenchmen, Saint Lubin and M. Montigny, acted as intermediaries between the France and the Pune Regency. However, the alliance proposals reached nowhere, while the British suspicions of a global anti-British front increased, since the American War of Independence was also going up around this same period. The British Calcutta Council condemned the Treaty of Surat, sending Colonel Upton to Pune to annul it and make a new treaty with the Regency. The Treaty of Purandar, March 1, 1776, annulled that of Surat. Raghunathrao was pensioned and his cause abandoned, but the revenues of Salsette and Broach districts were retained by the British. The Bombay government rejected this new treaty and gave refuge to Raghunathrao. In 1777, Nana Fadnavis violated his treaty with the Calcutta Council by granting the French a port on the west coast. The English retaliated by sending a force towards Pune. Initial stage and Treaty of Purandar, 1774 to 1775. British troops under the command of Colonel Keating, left Surat on March 15, 1775, for Pune. But they were checked by Haripant Phadke at Adas and were totally defeated on 18 May 1775. Casualties for Keating's force, accompanied by Raghunathrao, included 96 killed. The Marathas' casualties in the Battle of Adas, Gujarat, included 150 killed. Warren Hastings estimated that direct actions against Pune would be detrimental. Therefore, the Supreme Council of Bengal condemned the Treaty of Surat, sending Colonel Upton to Pune to annul it and make a new treaty of Regency. An agreement between Upton and the ministers of Pune called Treaty of Purandar was signed on March 1, 1776. The Treaty of Purandar, or Treaty of Purandar, was a doctrine signed on March 1, 1776 by the Peshwa of the Maratha Empire and the British East India Company's Supreme Council of Bengal in Calcutta. Based on the terms of the accord, the British were able to secure Salsette. Treaty was signed between the then Governor-General Warren Hastings, who sent Colonel Upton, and Nana Fadnavis of Peshwa, in which British accepted Sawai Madhav Rao as a new Peshwa and Maratha accepted not to recognize existence of French in India. The Treaty of Purandar, March 1, 1776, annulled that of Surat. Raghunath Rao was pensioned and his cause abandoned, but the revenues of Salsette and Broach districts were retained by the British.